Okay, so this is the beginning of the stream. I guess I should thanks Ryan for coming on by. This is kind of an alpha stream just to make sure nothing catches on fire, and then maybe the one after this or the one after that will be more regular and formal. So yeah, the big plan is to do some Code Wars, probably a one Pomodoro session of Code Wars, and then get working on that cocktails drink API. Tails DB using this here API, which for us fellow 100 devers, we know we have an assignment to make something cool with it, although specifically the assignment is to make it work with spaces in the name, so any old name should just work automatically. But yeah, I'm gonna try to push this API to its limits. And that's going to be searching. Basically, we're going to be able to attempt to use literally every endpoint that exists. And yeah, maybe a local storage based favoriting system or something like that. And for the final push work, if we have the time, I will be going with a kind of like you enter what ingredients you have, and then it'll basically tell you what drinks you can make. And I also saw there's different glasses, so maybe you can like enter what glasses you have and it can tell you what drinks you can make. It's not a new idea at all. There are dozens of those kind of apps out there, and they're more for literally your entire grocery list, but yeah, I figure that'd be a unique spin on this. And yeah, but first, before I jump head first into that, gonna do some Code Wars to warm the stream up, make sure nothing catches on fire. We're going with this one. Because then, yeah, I will be keeping in the 7s or 8s, but if anyone in chat has any suggestions for Code Wars they would like to see me attempt, just drop them and I'll give it a try. That's all I can guarantee. So let's see. Given two arrays. Apologies for that. Had a sound issue. It's fixed now. This is why I told no one in the stream what's happening. I was like, if I'm gonna mess up, I'll make sure as few as people see it. So yeah, I gotta fix that issue. But yeah, this is the first Code Wars, and I should probably there ain't no Pomodoro session without no Pomodoro timer. So let me for 3 minutes. No, not 3 minutes. Nope, that's wrong. For 5 minutes. Nope, that's again wrong. I forgot how to math. As you can see, I'm not using a normal timer because I like to challenge myself. And I threw this together based on my little portfolio thing. So now, and of course, it only accepts seconds as input because like I should have been streaming way back in February, but one thing led to another, and I was like, oh, I can't start until I have all this stuff working. But I was like, I'm just gonna do it no matter how much or how little I have working. So let's get that 1500. There you go, 25 minutes. There we go, a lovely Pomodoro timer. It's officially started. Which means so should I. Okay, JavaScript maximum length distance. If anyone wants to follow along, it lives in the chat. Okay, so given two arrays, each string is composed of letters from A to Z. Okay, so it's alphanumeric. That's good. Let X be any string from the first and Y be any string from the second. Find the maximum absolute difference between the lengths. Okay, of any of the two strings. Okay, yep, I got that. Okay. Yeah, so what we're going to start off is essentially we're going to do the brute force way, which is iterating through the first array, then iterating through the second array. And then since that'll give us basically a pointer to each string, and we will check if those strings, well, first we'll calculate this particular logic, the absolute difference between their lengths, and we'll see if that is greater than the one we've been tracking so far, and then if it is, we'll update our best or our maximum found so far. If it is not, then we do nothing, and finally we will return that maximum. So we're going to use good old for each loop, so for x, just to be consistent, of a1, and I will zoom this in, because that's already hard enough to read, const y of a2, if, no, can't do any of that till we have our logic, and formatting is going to be weird, thank you Code Wars, let's fix all that, there we go. So let best equals 0, because we haven't gotten any yet. Now if, well, first we need to calculate, so const short for difference, just type it out though, difference is, I appreciate the lyric, Ryan, I have no bot set up, but I will have that eventually, appreciate you coming by. So the difference is the length of x, well, it's the absolute difference, so we have math.abs for that. And we can do the difference of the length of 2 is x.length minus y.length. Watch me type it. Let me type it again. length. Streamer brain, making me spell things wrong. So now we're checking if the difference is greater than the best, then the best becomes the difference. And if anyone's wondering, yes, there are better ways to do this, but we'll always write bad code first and then optimize it to the best we can after we get it working. Ooh, the suspense is killing me. Okay, there we go. The test case work. So literally only one test case. Okay. So we have a random testing for... Okay, these are very useful test names, I gotta admit. Not that useful though, so let's see why in particularly that's not working. Okay, so this is a fun thing with code words, that when they fail, you don't really know why they're failing, but I'm seeing the -1, which I'm assuming is a baseline, so I'm just gonna go off of that, hit run the big test again, see how it behaves. It did behave. Now, I got lucky there, but what I would usually do is over here do a console log, and then A1 and A2, just to see what the actual data it's failing with is. So, got lots of tests here. Then we see the failing one. So when one of the arrays is empty, then there can be no other differences. Which means, see, this is a good thing I checked this out, because I would have just went with -1 and been like, I'm done. But this is technically, it can be optimized. So what I can do before I do any of this and just assume a -1 is I can check the lengths of the array. And if either of them are falsy or 0, then I return early. That prevents the iteration of the second array. So that's one optimization. Definitely going to make. Let's look at some other ones. Okay, something with an empty, double empty, something with an empty, something with an empty. Okay, yeah, so this is some good random tests though, gotta admit. Okay, yeah, so that is the plan. So I'm basically going to check if either of them have a non-truthy length. Well, I'll write it out the explicit way first, and then I will get all fancy and optimize it. Be all code wars about it. So if a1.length triple equals 0 or a2.length triple equals 0. So if either of them are 0, then we return -1. And now I can test this by putting this back to 0. Because I remember, when the bad code comes through here with a 0, it will fail. So this is a great way to test, see if my if condition is actually handling what I expect it to. Because if it is not, then it will go through here and fail like usual. Otherwise, I will have 0 failures. Now, of course, Ryan, that is the vocalization of the process is the entire reason I'm here streaming it. I'm here streaming it, and it's one of the things that I also like I promise it's no good vocalizations, but these are at least why I'm doing what I'm doing, because that's kind of like the thing that, like, at least in other technologies, I see people just go like boom boom boom, out comes the magic code, and I'm just like, Well, yeah, that's awesome, but how did you get there? Which is like, I feel like that's something I can at least help with. And it might not be understandable, I might be saying it wrong, but at least I'm saying it in a way that I understand. And if I understand it, surely someone else can understand it and decipher through my blathering. Yeah, that is this running. Now, if we look at the name of the website, it's codewars.com. I can't just go with this code. We gotta be all code warsy about it. So now we need to check if either of them are falsy. Boom, we run this. Still works. Yeah, I'm already seeing me streaming and running this. Like, usually these run like 2 seconds flat, but now I got like 3 seconds because of the network, but that's not too bad. So yeah, I have Code Wars that, made it real fancy. Now this here, this double loop here, can we optimize this? Probably. Let me look. I just need to think for a second on how do we optimize this any further. Well, we can optimize the inner part a little bit. Maybe not an optimization, but we can Code Warsify it by saying the best equals the math.max, similar to the expression they initially showed, of the difference and itself, which is best. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shortener. Might not be as optimal because we're always reassigning it, or like I have no interest in running a billion tests to see which is actually faster, but if y'all were curious, I would. But this is a nice short way of doing it. It's a little less readable, unfortunately, but it gets you that nice one-liner. And eventually, when you recognize this pattern of your maxing in the first argument is always yourself, you can, at least I can recognize this pattern of, oh, I'm creating a value and I'm checking if it's greater than my current. I'm basically keeping track of the greatest. So I don't know how common this pattern is, but it's one I use at least a lot. Then if it's min or it's max, you can figure that out from there. Now these double for loops in this best. Now I could be all like, let's use a reduce, but like I don't really feel like just because you can use a reduce or can use some functional magic, I see it offering no benefit here, and definitely offers no benefit in readability because it's a lot more readable, and it's just one little numeric variable around. That ain't gonna hurt no one. So I don't think, yeah, I don't think there's any further way to optimize this because we don't know which one the largest one is and which one the smallest one is. So if we knew the largest one was always an A1, we could be like, once I find a large one, don't look at any of the other ones, or we could do a sorting on it and then grab the largest from A1 and the smallest from A2, but we have no idea. So I think this is the maximum we're gonna get it. So we're gonna run last submit. Now we wait. And we wait. And we wait. Wow, my internet really is not liking all this multitasking. Okay, I might as well zoom out while we're here. Zoom! I'm not sure why. Yeah, so after this, okay, we're gonna look at the other solutions. Okay, so yeah, we have the same trick I did. They just made it back to readable. Let me first get my free honor. Let's get the point. Yes. Okay, so L1, all the lengths. Okay, so they're converting the arrays to arrays of number representing the lengths, and then, whew, wow, that is a lot of spreading and maxing and minning. Okay, so they're taking the largest from the first one, subtracting it from the smallest to the second, seeing if that is the max. Okay, I see. I'm trying to think of the efficiency of this, because you got to go through, first you're going through the array, both the arrays, so you got N and M, and then you're going through them again and again. You go through it 4 times. Yeah, I would definitely prefer mine, but both readable and more efficient. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is literally my code here, just using the var and the -1 trick. It doesn't do the, what am I thinking of? The array length check, so Could be a little, the edge cases at least. Yeah, another one doing, oh, okay, we're doing some sorting here. Yeah, I'd say this one's a little more efficient than the first one, but man, there's no spaces. I don't like this one. No, not a fan. Whoa, we have our first reduce. What are we doing with this? Min max. Okay, I think we've read enough. I'm not reading that one. Okay, back to the rest of the Code Wars. So that was a good first one. Let's find another 7 Caillou to work on. Click the button. Come on, internet. Okay, trying to avoid these math ones. A lot of math ones I got. I don't want to do. Number of decimal digits. I might be able to figure that out. Let's see. Determine the total number of digits in the integer given as input, not as a single digit, 22. Oh, okay. I don't see why I can't do this one. Now, before I actually start on this, I'm going to go over here and pause the timer and see if I can modify some network settings. Because apparently I'm dropping like 20% of my frames, specifically due to network. So I'm going to see how I'm going to fix that. So let's see, all these settings. Why do you break? I mean, it's not breaking now, thankfully. It could have literally been breaking as I was submitting. Like the internet was like, you only do one thing at a time. Well, let's go to settings. I have my bit rate down to like 2500 kbps. What I read was like the lowest you should go. Huh. I'm already down to 720p. Yeah, for most of it, like, the rest of the things say the health is alright. View details in Twitch Inspector. Yeah, I'll do that. See if that'll give me more insight. Boy, even the Twitch Inspector is like, hey, I'm not loading. Okay, let me open up a whole new tab for the Twitch Inspector. Twitch Inspector. Okay, let's have a looky-loo here. Yeah, giant angry spikes. Oh, it's stream. Okay, it literally went down to 0. Then maybe next time I won't go 30 frames because it's text. Don't need 30 frames a second. But for the last, I don't know, I can't read this. X amount of time, it seems to have been alright. Yeah, okay, it seems to have only been dropping in like 20-second intervals. And this is why it is an alpha stream. We get to figure out these problems and fix them. Eventually, hopefully. Okay, yeah, back to the Code Wars problem. Let me unpause that Pomodoro. There we go, good Pomodoro. Okay, so determine the total number of digits in the integer given as input to the function. So we're gonna go do the cheaty way. We're gonna say return n.toString.length, and I know this will not work for all the tests. If I can submit the test, hello? Is it me? Okay, there we go. Wow, yeah, it really doesn't like my internet. My CPU usage is fine. Yeah, I'll figure that out next time, hopefully. Let me look at other tabs. Yeah, all the tabs look good. Okay, wow, these are some unfortunate... I mean, the tests work, obviously, but... Okay, so the optimal way, so what I did was I was like, okay, this is a number. It wants us to count how many digits in this. Essentially, how many... If you turn this to a string, it's how many characters there are in the string. and you can count that with the length property of the string, which you can convert anything to a string, including numbers, using the .toString. If they had tested me with decimals, it would have been off by 1, because the toString of 1.5 would have become 1.5, and for counting digits, there are 2 digits, but the length of the string is 3, so that would have thrown it off. It didn't know, because they didn't test for that. Another thing is, it could have been giant numbers with like dozens of zeros, and what JavaScript does then is it does like the I don't know what this is called exactly, but it does this thing where it turns it into scientific notation or whatever this E notation thing is. That would have also thrown this test off. So I know I'm trying to think. For this one case, the trick would have been to process this as a number and continue chopping it down using the divisibility by 10. So what I mean by that is, like, if say you have 175 and then you modulus it by 10. Now this is awkward, I can't remember the math. Don't trust me, trust the actual calculator. Yes, if you modulus it by 10, that's not, yep, see, I was wrong. That's why we don't trust people, we trust machines. So yeah, the plan, if they didn't like write these tests, would have been to continually keep dividing it by 10 and literally count the number of times it would have been divided till 10 until it eventually reached, so 1 divided 10, 0, you would have floored this. Yeah, floor to 0. So that would have been the other solution, but they didn't account for that. So, yeah, Ryan, it's probably my internet, unfortunately. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is obviously an alpha stream. I was worried about this happening, but yeah, it's my internet. I'm not sure if you're even hearing this, so I'll drop it in chat. Let me try to look around, see what I can shut down. I can shut down Discord. I don't think that's using much internet. Close that tab. Try to optimize a few things. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see the internet dropped lots of frames. Let me pause the timer while I'm figuring this out. I mean, let me at least run a submit on that. Okay, I might need to see the settings. Try to think. So yeah, what the problem is, it's literally not telling me the problem. Let me reopen the Twitch inspector, see what is up with this. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna take me a good minute to get to this Twitch inspector. Okay, let's figure this out. This is why we do test streams. No streams in the past week. Thank you, Inspector. You lie. I know there are streams. Okay, yeah, it's taking its good old time. Oh, it's still... Okay, yeah, it's it's jumping between like 0 and a real connection. Yeah, I literally don't think any of y'all are hearing these frames, unfortunately. Wait, why'd it go to 4,000? Unfortunately, here's my internet's also being used at this exact time. Wow, yeah, that literally killed the internet. Under 200 kbps, half a frame a second. Amazing. What's the solution? I'm already down to 720p. I could go down to lower resolution, but it probably wouldn't even be readable. I mean, I literally just might not have enough internet to stream. Up to 2,000. The thing is, I can't even reach any kbps. It's literally 0 for some reason. Like 260 kbps. Maybe I just picked the wrong time in the day. Yeah, I picked the wrong time in the day, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't even reach the speed test. Man, I knew I'd have like not the best internet, maybe a few drops. I did not expect literally unable to. Wow, okay, the speed test is literally unable to be ran. Ah. It was going good for a while. Let me reopen Discord. If I can get some assistance. Can't open Discord because the internet's dead. Ah. Well, it's not the worst of alpha streams. I got through like one whole Code Wars. And no Discord. Yep, so that's dying. Might as well click Dishonor if I can. Let's see if this works. Okay, I was able to reconnect there. My bit rate, it went back up. That makes no sense. The frames are no longer being dropped. I'm still at a low bit rate though. Why am I so low of bit rate? Come on, internet. You can do it. Okay, so it seems to have come back. It could literally only be back for a few seconds. Hey, Ryan, glad glad it appears it works. I thought closing things was happening, but I opened Discord and it's like, okay, internet woke back up or something. Yeah, so I mean, all I did was decrease the bit rate by like 500s. Oh yeah, maybe it does. So like maybe what this is actually from, and I'll spoil surprise. I mean it's not really a surprise. So yeah, that logo, it's literally my image. So it's this picture I found, and as you can see, I do hue rotation on the animation. So that's what I did here. I have a image. I have two copies of the same image overlaying one another, and one of them has a clip path, basically making the shape of the polygon to like make like the shape of the pie chart, or like the outline to cut that off, and that is my bitrate just went back down to 0. Great. And that lasted real long, didn't it? Is it still up? My bitrate says 0. Yeah, I wish this inspector allowed you to zoom. It's very entertaining, I know, watching me stare at this page. Okay, let's try another thing. It still says unstable. Interesting. 0. Wrong tab. Don't know if there are any others. Can't really decrease that anymore. Let's try. Okay, looks like it was just a single blip it went out. It appears, according to the inspector, to be at the moment working. Okay, We'll see how long it lasts. Yeah, considering how unstable the internet is, probably won't. I mean, it literally depends on the internet's going to be good or not. But yeah, if it doesn't improve this quality, I probably will only be doing the Code Wars, not the full app, unfortunately. But it's all up to the internet. We will see. Let me close some things back down. Goodbye that. Goodbye that. Okay, it looks alright for now. Let's see what we can jump into for the next one. Okay, number of decimal digits, it did that. Building strings from a hash, that seems interesting. Complete the solution, so it takes the object or hash and generates a human readable string from its key value pairs. Key equals value, separate by comma, except for the last. Okay, that's already telling me to use the array join method after I convert these into an array. I'm gonna click this button. Come on, internet, we believe in you. Okay, yeah, so we're taking in a hash. Wow, they did not give us any test cases. That's okay. I will write our own test case. So assert strict equal left equals, and then they said it should equal this here string equals right, and my bit rate is dropped back down to 0. Great. Okay. Okay, so now we have these. What we're going to do is iterate. Now there are multiple ways to do this. We have the entries. We can go through the keys and the values, building the array, building the string one thing at a time. So I'll do multiple approaches. First, I'll go with the entries trick, which is going to be returning object.entries pairs. Do not reduce. No, we're not reducing this. Well, we are turning into a thing, but we are mapping this to a pair, and the pair will be joined by a space equals space. Then these will be joined by a single comma character. We'll see if this works. Wow, that works because it's a test I wrote. Let's see if the test they wrote work. The test they wrote work. Okay, so this is obviously a very Code Wars one-liney solution. Let's do it normally. So we have our, let's see how we want to do this. We'll go two approaches. We'll say our const array equals our new array, and then we will iterate through all the keys of this. So for const key, and using the for n loop, because the n, when you do a for n loop on an object, it gives you all the enumerable properties, aka keys of the object. So for key and pairs, we'll just say array.push, and we'll use a little template literal magic here. So we want to use the key equals the value. Now we have the object, we have the key. For those two things, we can combine them by using the key on the object using bracket notation to pass the key in, which will have it evaluate to its value, and that will give us its value. And then we can return array joined by a comma. A fun fact about the array join: if you don't provide an argument, it does the comma automatically. It's kind of the default. Now that works. Let's see if we can simplify this even further using classic old ES5 string concatenation. So key plus a string containing a space, an equal sign, another space, plus the value, pairs, key. Now, if there are no numbers or any weird stuff in here, this should also work. It does. Good. And we do this another way. So I know there's another way to do the join thing. I'm not going to do the join thing until we've basically done all the possibilities of this. We can use entries on the for loop. It's kind of, it's not backwards, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem what it was intended to do, but we can do pair of object entry pairs, and let me comment out this block, because that's the wrong comment. That's the right comment. Yeah, so we can do it like this, and essentially what we'll be doing is the same logic we did here, but we can do pair 0 and then pair 1. Remember, entries returns the key and value in a single array. Then we run this, and as expected, it still works. Now, since we're doing this, we can do some destructuring, which is pretty cool. You can do this literally anywhere. One of the cool places you can do this is inside the loops. So you can say key, comma, value. So this is using array destructuring because pair was an array. So we can destructure this into key and value. Just like that. I personally probably would go for this way over this way because, like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem the need to go all that far, and I would use the template literal. Of course, if I was going for the non-code words way of object entries, pairs, map, all the fanciness. Now, to not do the join, I won't go through that one, because essentially it is going through creating a new string and adding a comma to the end of it for each item. So you don't just push this, you push this plus a comma only if the current index does not equal the length of the keys minus 1. At that point, it's like, if you need to do it manually, you could, but I see no benefit. So that is this solution done. I'm probably going to see everyone do the same thing because it's kind of a one-liner. Okay, yeah, essentially the same. Oh, they used keys and then used the keys to get the value. Another functionally magic way to do it. This is that way. They explicit with their comma. This is literally what I did. I didn't do the destructuring. I did the join because it's like 4 characters less, I guess. I don't know. That's what came to mind. This is more readable though, so yeah, I take it back. If I were to redo it, I would definitely do it the readable way, taking the key and the map, or destructuring the key and the value, and then using them accordingly in my template literal. Ooh, has own property. That is a thing that can be done. Oh, and they're building the string, and then they're getting rid of the last character. If that is another way that this could have been done. I didn't think of it, but it's another way to do it. I mean, I guess it's probably cheap. I don't know which would be more performant, to do the check literally every time, like checking n times, or to make a 1 character decrement. I guess the 1 character decrement might be more efficient. But okay, that was that Code Wars, and the timer is done. So with that enters, and looking at my thing, the internet has been behaving. So we will continue, and we'll go with a 5-minute break. You will watch me mess with my timer. Lovely 5-minute break, giant 5. There we go. I paused it, so I'll probably unpause it. There we go. Because it's draggable. Whenever I drag it, it pauses if I click on the thing. Alpha stream for y'all. Make sure to take a stretch, just relax your eyes, to get a drink, etc., etc. Yep. Another consequence of this being an alpha stream, I totally forgot to share the code original for that problem, so there it be. In the meantime, of our break, let me think. Just taking a break doesn't mean we have to do nothing. I'm just gonna stare at the API page, because unless I find a really intriguing code wars, this is literally what we'll be doing after the break. I'm just gonna be scrolling around here, familiarizing myself with it. Search ingredient by name. How does that work? Oh, it gives you literally the ingredient description. That I did not know existed. That's gonna become a very cool page. So yeah, each ingredient will, like, once it is displayed on the page, it can have either a modal or independent page that talks about the ingredient, which is literally just going to be it will be the description, just raw. It's gonna be a giant paragraph. Are there any new line characters in here? Oh, there's a new line character. Okay, it's not going to be that large then. And the type, what does that mean? Okay, can I see some other ingredients around here? Yeah, let me look at this one. Copy, paste. Oh no, internet. Don't be doing this, internet. No, not the internet. Ah, it went out. So type. Okay, so I guess they're derivatives of like categories, basically. Hmm. Yeah. For a reminder, anyone got any questions, feel free to drop them in chat, or any code words you'd like me to try and fail at. I will give it my best shot. Assuming the internet is still working. It says it is. You get the Twitch inspector back online. It appears going through a weird. It says unstable yet. It says I'm having 30 frames. Man, who knows? Okay, and this comes to the end of our timer, just about. Maybe I'll do one more Code Wars. Let's see if I can find an easy one. Whoa. Okay, Haskell. Not doing that one. That's too crazy. Halving, solving sum. Calculate the following. No, that don't seem fun. Alphabet war. Let's see how that one works. Nope, not interesting. Okay, yeah, we're going straight for the project. Okay, so this is the wrong VS Code. So let's find the right VS Code. It's on this tab. I do not have it open. Let me go open it real quick. Code to learn. Just gotta go find it real quick. It's literally an empty folder, but I got it where it needs to be. I mean, this is literally homework, so there we go. Code here. There we go. Hello, VS Code. Let's rock and roll. As you can see, I have a beautiful project template. It's nothingness. So let's start with the HTML. I know there's a template. I never get around to using it. I will drag normalize in here. Yeah, VS Code hasn't loaded yet. There we go. Document, Control-Shift-I. Let me turn screencast mode on so you can see what clicky clickies I click. And let's get that timer started. There we go. Okay, Drink Maker. It's a very informative title, I know. Okay, let's hook up some CSS. Not script, it is link rel style sheet, and then href equals index.css, closing tag. Helpful I had one. CSS. Let's do everything. Oh, we want to do HTML. Box sizing, border box, then everything. Box sizing, inherit. Font size 62.5. Give us that 10 pixels REMness. We need font size, not just font. Okay, yeah, so that seems good enough. Let's get our JavaScript in here. I will be using vanilla JavaScript. I know there's a lot of fancy stuff. Could pull a React, but it's not really what is expected. So vanilla JavaScript will have to do. A link, no, not that. Script H, no, not script href. Source, there it is. Index.js, closing tag, thank you, VS Code. Okay, we have our HTML. Now I am going to use Chrome through VS Code. So VS Code launches the thing, it opens up a little instance of Chrome, and that just makes debugging a little easier. And it would also help if I had my live server on, because that makes debugging a lot easier. Now, we're not doing it in Firefox. I know I love Firefox, but not worth the effort to get it working. So now, we got Chrome, we got VS Code, and if we look here in the VS Code debug console, we see hi. So what I've essentially done is, using the extension, it takes your DevTools console and it shows it to you in VS Code. In addition, I have a pretty cool extension called, oh, this is going to be real awkward because I'm not going to remember extension name. It's this thing, it's called real-time something. Oh, and of course this is requiring my internet to search, and that ain't gonna work. Yes, it's called real-time debugging. So this is the extension name that does highlighting, if y'all are curious. I don't know if it does all this highlighting anymore, because I had to fork it and make some changes. I don't remember what changes I made though, so it could do all this, it could do none of this. That's not what we're here for. We're here to make a cocktails DB API user thingamabob. So we're first just going to go with classic search, right? We're going to search, and it's going to give us back a cocktail by name. So we're going to start that off with a form. So Control-Shift-I, auto format, form, and then we're going to say we have an input. This is a type of. Got a lot of types in here. Thankfully, VS Code tells me all of them. One of them is search. Definitely going to use that. What does it do, you ask? I have no idea. Now we're going to use a button called search and give this a placeholder of, let's see, drink name. Seems right to me. We're going to give this form an ID of search by name. It's a very amazing ID. And that's just so we can come here in JavaScript and do some document query selector by that ID. Don't forget the octothorpe. We're going to add an event listener. Now, usually, if we were adding it to the input, we could listen for the event that is called change or input, something along those lines. Or if we're looking for the button, we'd be listening for click, but we're listening to the form. The reason I'm listening to the form is because when you are in an input and you hit the enter button in forms, that does something. That something being it submits the form. If you don't have it in a form, like if it's just out here in the wild, wild west, hitting enter does nothing. It looks for a form, it don't find one, and then it does nothing. So some people are like, I don't want to go click this button, or hit tab and then hit enter to go to the button. So we put it in forms. It can take a lot. It also gives you a bunch of accessibility benefits that I don't know what all of them are. But it's good. Put them in forms. They belong in forms. Not everything belongs in a form, but you can put a lot in forms. And it will help give you free accessibility plus the behavior of the enter key submitting it. Now, since this is a form, naturally, when you submit a form by default, it takes the data, which it grabs by name, whatever the name attributes of your inputs are, so key. So this is your key, and it encodes it in some way, and it sends it off to the server. Now, when we don't provide any information of where to send it, like action or method, we don't give it any of that. It's just going to send it to this very page using a GET request. Now, that GET request is not very useful because this is a single page application. It's an SPA. So we don't want to do that. We want to handle it dynamically. So we want to tell the event to prevent default, which if we read here, wow, that's quite the description. It basically prevents whatever the native behavior of the event is. So a simpler example is like when we go here and we right click, the behavior is to open the context menu. If we were to grab that event and we were to say no, we were to say prevent default, when we right click, there would be no context menu. So that's always a simpler example I like going with, and that is essentially what we're doing, but for the form. So now that we prevent the form, we want to get some data. So we want to get our query. Now, we can get this 10 different ways. We can grab the input by name, by ID. You can do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to use the form because the form has some special extra things on it. One of those things, so fun fact, whenever an event happens, you can get the target of the event. Now, speaking of HTML events, using the target attribute. So when you grab the target attribute, it gives you whatever it is it was clicked on. Technically, it can be null, or there are edge cases in which it's nothing. But for 99% of the cases, it's something. So when you grab that something and you're like, this is my form element, you can do elements, watch me mistype elements 5 times, EMENTS, and 0. So this is very much like, where did elements come from? So if we look at, not that page, MDN HTML form, the MDN for what the form element contains, we can find out real easily. Okay, so this is the MDN for the form tag, which has a lot of fun stuff on it. We want the JavaScript variant. Now, the way we can get that is by doing HTML form element. This is the JavaScript interface representing the same tag. So this is like the JavaScript half of it. I mean, yeah, it's the JavaScript half of it. So now, literally up and top, first property, elements. A HTML form controls collection. I'll say that 10 times fast, right? Holding all the controls belonging to the form element. And it's got a bunch of other cool stuff. We don't care about that cool stuff. So, elements returns lists all the form controls in the form. Independently, you can all list all this cool stuff. You can access it by using the index for the element's name or ID. So, let's look at what a forms controls collection is. A collection of HTML form control elements. Well, it's like the definitions just talk about each other, right? Look, they've got a graph. But what this basically means is that you have them and you can look at them. So I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to console log it after I finish messing up console. So we're going to console log event target. First, we're going to look at event target because that's a cool thing to look at. Then we're going to look at event target elements. And just for be full, I'm going to look at the event too. Look at all this stuff. So yeah, we got high from our console log. It's amazing. Then we submit, and we got all these console logs. So we have our submit event lots of information. Don't care about any of it. We have our form, which we could have gotten any way we want. So we just have the form. And here it is again, our HTML form controls collection. I said it right. And it contains an input and a button. And you look at the prototype, it's also got this method called named item, and it's got a length apparently. All this cool stuff. You don't need all this cool stuff. Apparently you can iterate over it without values. So yeah, tons of cool stuff. We want the input. You see, this is an array-like. You can tell it's an array-like because it has a length, and these indexes are numeric. So 0 is going to be our input, and when we go for input dot value, and this could be a string, but we want to clean it up a little. So we'll call trim on it. So now we have our query. Now if we save this and we get rid of these consoles, because we don't care about that information any longer, and I click the button, we see our query is empty because I put nothing in there. And now we see our query is full. Let's see if I put extra spaces there. They're gotten rid of. Extra spaces there. They're gotten rid of. So free, just a little bit of cleaning up of it. So yeah, that is our query. And now we need to do something with it. So we're going to go fetching away. So let us look at the API, search cocktail by name, literally copy it, shove it in there, and we're done. Except we're not. We need to make this HTTPS because it's just a good idea too. And then here's where our search query changes. Now there are like a fair number of ways to do this differently. We're going to do the most straightforward way, which is template literals. So this is query. Then we have to actually handle it. So then response JSON, because we want the JSON value of the response. Then the data, and then we will console log the data. And that is the adventure of the data and what it's going to do. So this is going to be so marg. We have an array of 6 elements. So let's look at this array. We have blue margarita, Tommy's margarita, all the margaritas as expected. Now, as you can see, we open each one of these up and wow, that's a big object, right? Yes, it is. Thankfully though, we are initially only going to be looking at the one. But let's go further ahead. So we can make some HTML, start populating some stuff. But let's not go there until we are sure this is working with all my query types. So we have blue margarita here. Let's yoink that name. Thank you very much. Search for this. Oh no. Okay, that was just my internet being slow. But now, if we scroll into that drinks, we have one which contained blue margarita. So it's kind of just working on its own. If you look at the network request, we'll see it did the encoding of the URI segment, which is putting this $20 %20 to represent the space character. But I don't believe that was the intended effect. So code, watch me mistype this 5 times. Code URI component. And the difference between URI and URI component is that the component is like a path segment. So it would be between the paths, between the slashes. And code URI would mean including the slashes. It changes how they handle the certain strings. Some of them are like, oh, if you want to put a / in this query, then one of them, this one, would be like, okay, that / is good. But when you encode it as a component, it'll convert it to its encoded equivalent. I'm not sure. But it would convert it to whatever it needs to be. Okay, and now we are looking at this, and just for funsies, we're going to console log this just to see what it looks like. EUC, there we go. And just for experimentation, we'll look at the other one, see if we can spot any differences. So encode URI. Okay, let's run this with blue margarita. Copy, paste. Wow, what have I done? Okay, we can see they're basically the same. Let's add a forward slash just in the middle there. So you look at that. The encoding of the URI kept the forward slash. It was like, you want forward slash, you get forward slash. But encoding as a component was like, no, 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 you don't want this forward slash. It's gonna break it. And you told me this was a component. So a component, it will be treated as, and I will encode that so you don't break your website. So that's why traditionally use the encode URI component unless you don't have to. Now, of course, this was the approach using manually encoding. There is a better way. It is a more modern way. It is using URL search params. Let's see if I got this right. Yes, it is URL search params. So what this API allows you to do is to be like, I'm not doing all of that. And there might be a way to do it directly in Fetch. I can't remember. But yeah, I'll do it once. Params, URL search params. What's the initialization here? It's it takes a record, just a key value, S, and the value is going to be query. What you can do is you can do params. I actually don't know. Let's figure this out. So it's console log toString. This is the method that does the magic. So we need to find Chrome and click the button. There you go. You see, when you call toString on this URL search params thing, it converts it to a string containing the query parameters in the correct format. And if we add a space, you can see it uses the plus. I mean, that might be okay. Maybe I don't know how. Maybe I forgot how search query parameters work. Let's find out. toString. Let's do my blue. Let's do marg. Okay, thank you, internet. You were good. Let's grab that blue margarita. Copy, paste. Not with the quotes. Close that one. Blue margarita. Okay, apparently it likes pluses. I forgot that. URLs are cool with pluses. Hey, yeah, learn something every day. So yeah, you can just do that instead. And I believe there's a way to do this maybe in the fetch. Let's try to remember that. Fetch query params. There's a way to do this. I know it's like putting it in the body or something. Ooh. Oh yeah, okay, that's great support. But this. Oh, you create the URL object? Is that how it works? Oh, URL dot search params. Huh. Yeah, that seems like an official way to do that. Const URL equals new URL. This URL. And sorry, URL dot search params dot add or set. Okay, this seems like the way to go. And the value is query. Now we can just pass this URL along, apparently. Yeah, this seems the most official, safest way, because literally you do nothing, the API does everything. So yeah, highly recommend this one. Ooh, is that chainable? Sadness, it's not. Okay, where's my query? Using the query string. That won't help, will it? Okay, and let's once more into the void. Blue marg. Would help if I looked. And there it is. Blue Margarita. Okay, so I think I have wasted enough time encoding this URL every way possible. Gotta do something with it now. What do we gotta do? We gotta display it. So let's look at this API. Wow, that's a lot of data, am I right? Okay, so let's see. How do I want to display all this lovely data? I guess the most important thing is the drink name. So we're going to need a name, going to need a thumbnail, and then we're going to need ingredients and measurements. Okay, so name, also going to need instructions. So let's just go over HTML and let's call this a section representing a drink. Let's see what we're going to do. We're going to do an H2. Seems somewhat important, but not. Yeah, let's say it's going for H2. And then we want to include thumbnail of the drink, so it's going to be an image. Gives me it's an image. I'm also going to need some instructions, which should be a paragraph tag, or directions, or their instructions, right? Then the ingredients. Now, you know what this looks like? This looks like a complete table. Like tequila, something else, something. This looks like a total table to me. Which is why I'll make it a table. Now, the ingredients go before the thing. Ooh. All these ingredients have images too. So yeah, that would be a cool thing to add, but not yet. So T-head. No, not TH. T-head. And we got a row containing TH, which is the header column. And we have, and watch me misspell ingredient. Then we have measure. There we go. Then we have T body. Nope, not table. T body. Work with me VS Code, which is where all the fun stuff goes. Okay, so we have our HTML basically written out. Now we're going to call this equals. What will we call this? We can call this anything we want. We can display main drink or drink. We'll just call this drink because we got literally 3 minutes left. I want to make progress. And then let's get the drink, put in an element, const drink, and drink container equals document query selector, drink, nope, just drink. There we go. And then we're going to make a function. Display drink. And let's see, drink. And we're going to say, so here's a little trick I like to use. I was going to copy it in, but I was like, yeah, that's a little not cool. There we go. So we're going to see drink container query selector h2 text content equals drink dot. Ooh, I lost it. That's okay. We comment this out, save this, say marg. I said marg. What would you do, internet? Okay, internet was just being slow. And now we look. We have lots of information. We copy. I said copy. Copy the object into right here. Thank you. Put it in a comment, so we don't want any of that on. There we go. Now we have our drink container query selector equals drink str drink. There we go. Now let's look at our image. Drink container query selector image source equals. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Let me turn word wrap off. Don't need to read all those. String drink thumb. Drink there. And let's see if we can do the instruction before the timer is out. Container query selector p dot inner. We'll do text content because actually we'll find out, won't we? Instructions. Doing some language stuff would be cool. Drink dot this. Save it. Now here we display drink data 0, and we're just gonna assume it's always there. Marg. Wait for the internet. Sadness. Cannot read properties of undefined. Okay, what is data? Data dot drinks. There is how we do it. Marg. There we go. It is working. Where's my image source? I can see the image here. Oh, is that my internet just being like, no, I don't think so. Yeah, that's my internet, but not cooperating, unfortunately. That's okay. There it comes, and there. Wow, you call that a thumbnail? Look, I could use some CSS, can it? But hey, we have it. All this stuff is here. It's now working, and it's just a little unstyled. After the break, which starts about now, we will be styling this and making it more functional. So let us start that break, stretch, drink, look at something else. We will be back just for consistency. I will zoom out. No, you know what? I don't want to leave it on this boring screen. I'm gonna fix this with 50 viewport. I hit the wrong thing. Where's the image? Select the image with 50 viewport. There it gets a lot better. Wow, font size could really use a boost too. Font size 3 rems. This seems good enough. And then, yeah, okay, there we go. Zoom out. Zoom out more. Zoom out more. It's this freaking image. As you can see, I'm excellent at CSS. 33 viewport width. Oh, you know what? Let's watch this. Float right. Be gone! Annoying image. And there we go. That is where we will sit for our break. Yeah, rule. Unfortunately, I mean, this is the first stream here, so yeah, the internet is for some reason failing me at this time of day. I'm definitely gonna take that into account with when I do these streams, depending on how bad the internet is, but it's been okay for the last few minutes, just, yeah, somewhat inconsistent. But yeah, this is a very much an alpha stream, so things break, fortunately. But hopefully, as time goes on, aka before next stream, I will get the network issues resolved. In the meantime, I will try and see. I just realized you probably can't hear me. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. It's weird. It's like you got 0 bit rate, now you got lots of bit rate. Wow. Okay, that's a big drop in bit rate. Hmm. Literally zeroed out. And it's still going up. Let me open Discord again, because that worked last time. Yeah, seems to literally just be my internet. Obviously, you can't hear me saying this, but yeah. Mm, internet, oh, internet. Hmm. Well, I guess no matter. I'm still gonna keep going no matter how bad this is turning out to be. It's weird. It's literally jumping between 0 and like 37, which is like, I want you to be 1500, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna jump around. So, unfortunately, it's not stable. I'm gonna have to literally pick different times to get it to work. You know what? I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna jump it down to 1000 kbps. See if that will fix it. Up here's. No, did it work? Nah, it doesn't look like it worked. Nope, did not work. Well, the timer's out. I'm gonna keep going on this at least. Okay, so let's look at more textual content here. In our HTML, well, let's not go that far. Let's get the timer back to 25. There we go, lovely timer. Click search, it should be working. Why isn't it working? Probably should do some, oh, I just did see it run. Ah yeah, giant image, that would help. Let's do some styling to this, how about that? So let's see what we want to do. We have drink, and then we have image. So your first thing that needs to be fixed would be floated to the right. I'm gonna do a max width of 33 viewport width. I think that's gonna help a lot. Yeah, it helps a lot. Let's up my font size. Where is that? It's over here. Let's get a main tag up here. I should have one. I don't. I mean, technically have a body, but maybe you could do with a main. Through that layer, Control Shift I, loving it. Font size to rem at least. Then we have our drink. Let's give you an outline. Get solid red. Looking good. It's. I'm gonna go grab me a normalizer real quick. Normalize CSS. Yes, this exists in the template, but I can download it myself, make sure it's always the latest. Open this, go to terminal, quick download. Loving it. Now let's link it up in HTML. Normalize CSS. There it goes. How do we know it's working? Because we look in the network tab. There it be. Okay, so yeah, next part is to, just style this up a little better. Let's work on that form. Let's work on everything. So let's do text align center. That helps already. Let's do width 80%, margin auto. Yeah, that helps a bit. Let's look at this table also. Let's string that table. Margin auto. Oh. I want it centered. There it is. And there's also some styling for the table. Won't do that until I populate the table though. That's okay. I also want this one drink to be in memory because hitting the internet every time is not efficient for at least my current workflow. given how bad the internet is. So we will no.e equals string. This is a little trick to be able to save stuff in memory real shortly. So now if I search marg, it'll load and wait, and it goes into memory, and I can type window.d. There's my drink. Right click it, I can copy it as a whole object. Instead of having to do this every time, I can just be like, way down here, display drink, and just boom, have that hard coded in there. So now I'll always have a drink being displayed. I don't need to wonder and keep hitting the internet, which is not an option in my case. And there it is. It's just working. We got this weird thing going on. That's because I'm using a float. The solution to that, I don't know the solution to that. I just use overflow auto, and that kind of just works. Now let's see. We have... This is a large image. Let's look at the original site because they do seem to be doing it pretty well. Probably type in the search bar, marg. There goes my internet, I think. Yeah, it appears the internet is failing again. Okay, thankfully at least I made it to here. Okay, so we have ingredients, images, counts, and this is the way they do it. Image on the left, all this cool stuff. So this is a cool approach. How do they responsibly handle this though? You just single column it? They do nothing. Yeah, I might go with this approach, but I'm not going there just yet. And I might just literally go for a clone on the website. That would require zero creativity. So tempting. I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, so looking back at mine, let's close Code Wars, they don't need to be there. This looks alright. So let's go through all the ingredients and the measures. So this is a count from 1 to 15 apparently. Once we hit double nulls, we stop. Okay, yeah, that's the count. So for what I equals 1I less than 15, less than or equal, because we want to stop at 15, I plus plus. Okay, and then we want ingredient equals drink. We can use a little bracket syntax with a template literal. It's fine. It's string ingredient this, so it's like this, but the number goes there. Then we want to grab the ingredient is what will be null. So if not ingredient, break. We're done. We got no more ingredients to go through. Otherwise, we can grab the exact same measure, which using this syntax or this formula, this format, I guess. Then we will add it to the table. Drink container. Got query structure t body. This is the body const. Well, I don't know. Let's do t body equals here, and then we'll t body. HTML equals clear. Try to do this. I'm not sure what we're going for. Okay, we'll just make a new let HTML equals thing. We don't care about being good. We'll write the bad code. HTML, well, let's say const measure equals string measure 1. So same thing, but instead of this ingredient, it is measure. Measure I. Now, how do we handle nulls? We will literally OR it. So if this is null for whatever reason, like the ingredient exists, but there's no measure for it, like in this example, there's no measure for salt. How do they handle it? They just put the ingredient name. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing that one though. So that will be OR empty string. HTML plus equal, well, a little inline HTML never hurt no one. A row with a cell, closing the cell, opening another cell, closing that cell, closing the entire row. Okay, these are our two things. Closing the row, I said. Now we need to put the ingredient, which is right here, and the measure, which is right there. That looks good to me. Now for t-body, we will no longer need to put in a variable. Our HTML equals HTML. We can get rid of our variable source. We don't need to know that after. Save it, run it, and look at the right page. Look at our nice table. It's a beautiful table. Best table I've ever seen. How would we like to align this? We can do some styling on this table. Let's bring out our CSS. Drink table. Huh. So I want all of these. Let me try to show this. I want all of these to be aligned left. I want all of these to be aligned right. As you can see, how right, amazing arrows. So this will be selecting the first TD of every row and text line left. So drink table, table TD first of type. That doesn't seem right, but we'll try it anyway. Text align left, and then we will do last of type. Because we're lazy like that. Text align right. Will it work? Exactly what I wanted. Okay, let's table. It's not the best table. Let's look at some CSS for tables. I know it's W3. No one tell Leon. No one tell Leon I'm going here. Just here to grab some tables. This border looks like enough to me. It looks like enough. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Wrong page. Find the page. Look at that. Yeah, let's add some border collapse. No, not border color. Collapse, not border dot collapse. Border hyphen collapse. Collapse. There we go. Let's add some padding to them because can't read that. One rem is always nice. Padding, not pad, and not pudding. Looking better. Will my eyes deceive me, or is that kind of like made a cross? Like, what is this thick black border right here? What? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, let's get rid of that high. Let's close the console entirely all here. Save, close console. I'm confused. Okay, it's when you are confused, console log. So we have ingredient measure. Just look at what we have. We have, I said, look, say hello there. Just my eyes. Let's inspect the HTML. Row your boat. Gently down the stream. Everything is perfectly fine. It's just my eyes playing with me. Okay, this is good. This image could really be working on it. Could really be working on it somehow. I think I will make it the same. So we're gonna flex the table and the image. Well, let's look at what other data this thing has. Alcoholic, glass, IBA. I am not a. Which I'm not a drinker. What does an IBA mean? International Bartenders. It doesn't tell me. Oh, like some kind of tag. Okay. Apparently there are videos. That's neat. This thumbnail's really not a thumbnail. I should go look at the API. I saw some information on images there. Well, I remember them. They won't load for me. That's fine. See what else we have. String image source. Wait, what's this? Wait, is this an alternative image? Okay, it's gonna take an eternity to load. Let's look. Search by ingredient for kind of glass. Add preview. Oh, what's the preview? Oh, preview gives you 100 by 100 pixel. Nice. So we have the image. I want to do /preview for the thumbnail variant. As soon as I forgot what I put my image, there it is. Source plus /. I know this isn't where the thumbnail lives. That's not what you're supposed to do. There it is. Okay, yeah, so. Obviously, I don't want the thumbnail. I want the full thing. Thumb. There we go. So, yeah. Load big picture. Let's get this HTML working. So, we want the table and the picture in the same thing. Left, right, right, left. We'll go left, right. So, let's do a div because this has no important meaning. Styling. There. And what is this? Should give this some form of ID or class, but I want to call you info. Yeah, it says drink, and then this is drink info. Okay, so we have drink info. Right? This should be no. Well, that's a lot more curly braces than I was looking for. Display flex directions already row. So just work, please. That would be very cool. Thanks. Looking good. How do I figure out this image responsiveness? Right now I'm just saying width, but that's obviously not enough. Right? Looks like, ooh, yeah, look at that. I squished it. Squish. I mean, who's really running on anything below 360 pixels at this point? Yeah, I mean, I know at this media per I would break it down. But let's not max with it. Let's not float it either. We should probably give them all flexes, right? Yeah. So all your children need to flex. So all your direct children flex uno. Not what I'm looking for. Are you okay there? Image? How do I make images responsive again? Come on, internet. I believe in you. I think I'm just gonna start throwing stuff on it. Drink image. Max width. That looks right. Width, height, something like that. Sure. Did it work? No, it didn't work. Okay, let's do max width. Well, we can't go any more than 50% of the viewport width, that's for sure. That's a constant, I believe. Right, yeah, and then I can, figure out some. Okay, I want some gap on these. Gap 1 rem. That looks. Where's my padding on this? Yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah, you know what? This table section, we're gonna be doing a lot more than just this table. We're gonna put some other stuff in here. What other information do we have with our drink? We have glass. We have an alcoholic tag. I don't know what this really is. I mean, oh, it's gonna say alcoholic or non-alcoholic. That's right. We also have tags. Let's see how we're gonna put all this up there. Are these instructions good? Yeah, these instructions will work alright. Probably do the carousel thing too, right? Yeah. And you know what? I want to display more drink information. Do a carousel. And this lasts after this current Pomodoro session. So let's see. We have glass. All these ingredients also have images too, though, right? That's ingredients. Image ingredients. Gin, small, medium. I want to use small if we can use anything. Yes, I'll go with ingredient. I will turn those into images. Where's my magic? Here's my magic. So yeah, we are doing an image. Source equals double quote template magic closing. We want to be alt to be very accessible, at least somewhat accessible. Ingredient. Now it's the format for the image according to the API. I copy it, I paste it. And this is all not supposed to be in the template tags. This is supposed to, or in the evaluation tags. It's supposed to be outside. APS, double forward slash, ingredient name hyphen size dot png. So this goes in 3D alt. Looks good to me. Don't need a console login anymore. Save it. We'll look at it. So the debug console is the interesting one. Okay, let's go over here and look. Yeah, would you look at that? Them pretty images. What is that? Oh, did I do some string messing up? Okay, let's look here. This is after the image, so we have the image tag. There it is. Hey, let's see what this... Oh, flex one, right? It's taking as much space as it can. We don't need that. I'm trying to think. Why is my alt? Oh, because I said alt, not... it was only alt. We will duplicate this for title. Is this correct usage? I don't know, but it gives me the hover. That's a desired effect. There we go. Loving it. Yeah, I'm good with it. I don't know. This image is really big, and I'm not zoomed in, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, so this is okay. Probably ditch that outline now, right? Yeah, let's find that outline. Toodaloo. Image is really large. You know, the image should be centered. We should have info stuff around it, right? So we have image there, table there. What are we putting on the left? Right? We need to get more data. We need more data. We need to use more data. Oh yeah, we could just an arbitrary table of other stuff, right? Yeah, here we go. Second table. And we need to differentiate these. So ID equals ingredients table. There we go. And we don't have a head, we just have a body on this other table. So we go to our JavaScript, we query select our table, our ingredients table tbody. Loving it. Now let's do this other information. What information do we have? So we're going to kind of build our own object at this point. It's going to be kind of a mapping of alcoholic. This is going to be essentially how the table is going to be formed. And the key to pull from, I believe, will be like this. I believe this is my goal, right? So for const left, right. Oh, one key. So what is this? I don't know what that's called. We won't figure out till now. Of this hard-coded object dot entries. Except that's not how you use entries. You have your object dot entries to pass the object. You want to get the key value entries of to it. There we go. So we have alcoholic. What else do we want? We want a category. Yeah, categories are good. We love categories. Category, string category. What else? We want the glass. I'm starting to see a number of these things mean like dynamic handlers glass. I'm going to want a link and an image and all that fun stuff. I don't have that. I'm not doing that. Modify. Yeah, might as well throw modified in there. We got like 3 minutes left. Date modified. Okay, this is good. So looking like in this. Let's do this again. For here. Oh. You know, we're going to use the variable. Be a very bad coder. Standard query. And we'll go for the first T-body because we don't care. Again, worst coder in existence. Yeah, we're clearing the HTML here, then we're generating it here. So not that old loop. We use the new loop. New loop. Okay, all right. So plus equal. Now, thankfully, we already have most of this, so I'm just gonna blank that for no reason. There we go. We don't have measure. We don't have ingredient. We can get a value though. Let's ditch the image. There we go. We're trimming this down already. So we have left, which is literally our whatever it's called, and we have key, which is going to be used to access of drink. So drink, then bracket notation key. right? Yeah, but look at how ugly this loop is. I love it. Okay, let's run it. Boom, look at that. It is beautiful. Now, why are you being so big, Mr. Image? Did I set your width explicitly? No, you need max width. Can you be cool? Why aren't you being cool, Image? Be cool. Yeah, this image is really fighting me. But that's okay. We have information on both flanks. And that gives us a minute left on this particular session. It looks horrible, but that's a par for the course for my stuff. It works though. So I am satisfied. Alcoholic. Yes, I'll switch my alcohol. Yes, each of these need like a unique handler. I will be writing that next session after I get the scrolling carousel working. The way that's going to be working, I haven't made it working yet, but the plan is to essentially make like an X intro. No, it's going to be kind of like how they do it using thumbnails. Yeah, it's going to be a list of things, and then when you click on one, it'll take you here. Then you can have a back button to go back to your search query. That is the plan. And that is what we will do next break. So we will stare at this page in the meantime. I will see how badly the internet has failed me. end that break. And yeah, Ryan, that actually is the next iteration of this. To be able to, when you type in a thing, it'll basically present a list of thumbnails and names of the drinks at minimum, and then you can choose from one of them. Probably gonna have them flexing as just a flex container of all the children, handle the responsiveness for me. But yeah, that is the next goal. Yeah, so let's go ahead and section ID equals, what do we want to call this one? We want to call drink options, query results, drink results, drink options. I'm not sure. I think drink options is good for now. Then we will go to index.js, and that's where we need to do a bit of logic. So it's basically going to be a logic of if not. Well, first we don't need data, right? We can just get drinks. We don't care about anything else. So if not drinks dot length, then we're like, hey, there are no drinks. Turn alert. No drinks found. Loving it. We should also do some logic about like handling the form disabling, but that's not for now. We're going to be like, if there's only one drink equal 1, then we display that drink, which is the first one. Otherwise, display drink options of drinks. Now, this logic here will need to essentially choose which of these are visible. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to do that. Probably just gonna hard code it at this point. So if we're doing display drink, then we're gonna say drink container, drink options container, drink options. Yeah, that's the right typing. So we'll just hide one and display the current. So drink options style. Actually, we'll probably add to class. Let's add hidden. And for the current one, for drink container, we will remove hidden, and we'll do this. Be cool about it. We'll do this after all the modifications, just to be safe. And we'll do the exact same thing. No semicolons. I gotta go add them. Something to our function that doesn't exist. Function display drink options, and this will be drinks, which is an array of drink objects, and then we will do this, remove. So yeah, you remove the hidden. This one, you drink container, you add the hidden. Lovely hard codings. Let's see what we're gonna do. Haven't really decided. Let's use, I think we have enough data and we've done previewing enough. All we need to do is give drink options some flex. Let's do this at the bottom because I'm very organized. Flex, and give its children all flex of 1. Direct children, flex 1. Let's give them a max width of, let's call it 25 vmin, because I don't know, I think that's a little bit more responsive than just hit viewport width, because when you get to a small phone, that'll really squish it, but height will come in, and I think I want vmax. I literally won't know until I get this written, so let's get this written. HTML. No, we're not doing that for const drink or drinks. So let's see, what is our HTML going to look like. We're going to use good old raw templates because we have baddies writing that code. And let's make it I want to say div, but I don't know. I mean, I'm already a section. Let's call it a div, right? We don't care about that, so let's close off the div tag there. Then what we want to do is, we want to have the image, we want to have the title, both want to be clickable, so we'll sound the whole thing in an anchor. Yes, because if we use a button implies an action but anchors navigation, and this is navigation, so the whole thing becomes an anchor. It goes to nowhere. I don't know, maybe this isn't the most appropriate usage of anchor, but we're using it. And we want, let me think how we want this order. Image top, text bottom. Decisions. We'll just go with one. Let's close that. Get me some alt equals title equals. Let's give an H2 in there. H2 because we want a somewhat important text. You know, we don't want an H2. We want a span. Doesn't feel that important of text anymore. Well, let me figure out where my cursor is going to be running off to. And this is drink. Drink. Man, I wish I had my TypeScript, but thankfully I know what that's called. And now we have drink thumb / preview. So we know that. Preview, give us that 100 by 100. And then it is string thumb. Put that there. Multi cursor magic. It's good enough to me. Drink options container. Inner HTML equals new HTML. Looking good. Not clickable, but that's okay. You look at this. We unhardcode our display of this. Because we are no longer testing. Yeah, look at that. That should definitely be hidden. I also need, good call, to add a hidden class that displays of none on things and initialize both of these to have it. Hidden. There we go. Now we type marg. Look at them all. It's very. Look, my flex wrap is not in existence. How do I do that? Tell me VS Code. We tell it to wrap. Loving it. Let's give these some gaps. Loving. Whoa, Blue Margarita, what are you doing? What are you doing, Blue Margarita? You're supposed to be in. Okay, man, I have to make these anchors. Yeah, I don't really think that should have these. I don't know. I'm doing it. Where's my CSS? I need to make them also flex version. Drink options there, hidden there. Here we go. Go to the A, display flex column. Here we go, that's what I'm looking for. Wow, these are some big images. I thought they were like 100 pixels. How big is that image? It's 200 pixels. It lied to me. Okay, we gotta fix that. Drink options, image. Click, no, click. Image. Let's do a width. I think width. That'll bring the height down automatically. Wow, okay. Maybe they want 100 pixels. I lied to myself. This is okay. Good with me. This could really use some more gap though. Let's up that to 5. It feels a lot better. Why is that? Okay, I don't know. Actually go look at the drink API, see some other options. Internet. Waiting for the internet. That's okay, I should probably make these things do something in the meantime. So yeah, these clickables need to go somewhere. The way I will do that is Event listener to them. Now, the great thing about this is that I can say the entire thing. You know, I should. Yeah, there are like 5 different ways to do this. Just add event listener to these and make. So I don't have to keep them in memory. They're basically just in the callback scope. That also requires me not using HTML anymore, which I'm willing to do. So if y'all haven't used document create fragment, basically create, no, not this one, create document fragment, basically create something called a document fragment, which is like, it's a JavaScript thing that, there you go, a document object that has no parent, light version document that stores some nodes in it. It's not part. meaning it doesn't cause reflow or any performance impact. This is like one of the reasons to use it, because you can add things to it and it'll just work. So we're going to go div equals, so we're going to go very much JavaScript oriented div. There we go. Markers, so I can create element a href equals this a dot alt title. I don't know, one of those are accessibility keywords. I won't figure it out. Image equals create element image source equals, now let's start pulling all these out. Template magic, boom. Alt equals drink drink. There we go. Same for title. Oh, image title. Oh, loving that. Double use of the assignment operator. And that's for image. Then we have our const title equals document. No, not drink container. Document. Create element span. Then title dot text. Title. Watch me type it right. Text content equals drink. Boom. And now we have essentially created it. Now we should hook them all together. So the anchor and child image. I should have done this up here, there, and then that goes title. Finally, the fragment ends the child. Div, of course, div gets the anchor. So another one I forgot. It's very clean code, I know. But it works. Control-Shift-I, a little formatting. And now we say, well, we still need to clear the inner HTML from last usages. Because if we didn't, they would pile up. Now we can say drink option container, append the child fragment, and that'll kind of just mush all the children of one onto this one automatically. Thinking it will. I don't know. Gotta think real hard on it. Thinking. I think I'm right. Now let's. The whole point of that was that I can do this. Now that I have the anchor, I can say anchor add event listener click. Here's where the magic comes. Take the original event, percent default, because we don't want it navigating anywhere, even though that anywhere is nowhere. Still don't want it to do anything. And now we say display drink, recurrent drink. And I believe it will point to the right one. We will find out right now. So marg. Okay, so we want smash watermelon margarita. And would you look at that? It is destroyed the image, but displayed it correctly. And now if we do Tommy's margarita, that is that white cat and blue margarita, strawberry, all this good stuff. Now, gotta clean this up a little bit, because this is supposed to be hiding up here, but it's not hiding up here. So drink options fair class list, add hidden. Someone's not adding the class list. I told it, even though I specifically requested it to. Okay, it has the hidden class list being overridden by drink options. Aha! Because I use an ID, it's got a much higher specificity or weight. Okay, so the way I do that is I don't use an ID, or I do other stuff, like our secret. It's our little secret. No one saw it. Hey, and now it's working. So now I go back to blue margarita, Tommy's margarita. Look at all these margaritas. Okay, this is good. These images are horrible, though. Okay, how do I make a responsive image? It's like, I forget this every time. So I don't want max width. What do I want to do? 0.5 VW? Nope. 0.5 VW? Okay, nope. If I type it right, maybe. Why is the height being weird? 100% height? Okay, there you go. Then it is vertical align middle. Nope, that's not it. Margin auto. Maybe that's it. Yeah, okay, so if we don't vertical align, we don't height. Margin auto. Okay, just give it. Let's go back to 33. 33 viewport width. Give it a margin of auto. That looks good to me. What am I looking for? Wait, what am I looking for? 33. And 33. There we go. Margin of auto. Ooh, okay, that's looking good. Of course, I'm still alive here. Margs is the only drink I know. Blue Margarita. Margarita. Smash watermelon. Okay, it's a lot of ingredients here. It's acceptable. I could do some manually modified null. Yeah, I gotta handle all those attributes eventually. Salt. Okay, I need to do something in which the measure doesn't exist. The column needs to the cell needs to span 2 columns instead of just one. And why? Okay, yeah, these images don't need to be left centered anymore. Why am I doing that? Goodbye. Yeah, center them. You know what? I'm going full. I can do this as a flex and it'll be all responsive and cool, and I'm not a table. I have other things to do first. Right? We have other things to do first. We're not doing that right now. Let's look at the API. You know what? This is a really great background. I'm stealing this background. Don't tell no one. I mean, I'm not stealing. I am being inspired. It says... Shh, nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. Yeah, this actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's very minimalistic. You know, I don't need to put alcoholic in there. I want to choose that title. Nice content, acceptable query. Marg. Glad to see the internet's picking back up though. Oh, I have to fix all my anchor colors. Okay, so I'm gonna do that by going to Singer Self Plug, my website, and stealing those anchor colors because I have good anchor colors for dark themes. I don't know where I got them from. Anchor color. How do I get there, Firefox? I have to really type this out, or can I just find the anchor color? There's the anchor color. Boom. How do I CSS this away? A color. Will that do it to all of them? What about the clicked ones? I think this is acceptable. Yeah, this is acceptable. No, what I want to do, I want to do something cool. I'm getting distracted. I know I'm getting distracted. I'm enjoying the distraction. So if we unfull screen, we can see. I should fix that. Look at this URL. It's boring. You should have the ID of the drink right there, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So let's look into the data. Where's my data? Console log. There's the data. Come on, Marg. Go for the data. Look at the data. All the data. I can't actually read any of this data. Let's go to the actual real console. An ID in there. Yes, there is. There's an ID of the drink. That's how I use it. So now I use that to... Well, what's the thing? Oh, what was the key? I'm back to the table. ID drink, lowercase d. Drink equals, and I don't need a template literal. I just put it in there. Drink.id drink. Look at that. Hard code it. There we go. And now, what I could do is, I could go back and detect all anchor clicks and handle them accordingly. But this is fine to me. But now, so modify the URL accordingly. I might need to take off the prevention of default. Come on, Marg. Oh, is the internet dying? Yeah, it looks like it's dying. Ah, internet. I believed in you. Let's get rid of the prevent default if we want this behavior. Marg. Look at that. Yeah, it's going to ID drink equals whatever. Well, I do want to modify, but I don't want it to go anywhere. So this is awkward. Maybe I do want the hashtag, or hashtag ID drink, pound sign, aquathorpe, whatever that is. I might need to go back to the root. Actually, I don't need indexation at all, do I? Yeah, I don't. Marg. Internet. There we go. Pound ID drink. That is exactly what I want. Actually, don't need this to be a multi-line arrow function at all anymore. Don't even need the event parameter. Trimming this down. Now, when I'm here, I come here. I want this to automatically do some stuff, okay? If window queen, window location, search, I don't know which it is. Let's look at it. Window location. What's this? Okay, I have to find the property name now. Hash. Okay, it's hash. So I can do new URL search params location hash. Oh, I have to string it, right, to see what's going on. I also need to slice off the hash, right? So hash slice 1, just get the first character. And then I can do get ID drink. There we go, that's what I wanted. So essentially, well, thank you, Chrome, for being weird and copying it. I want to do it iffy because I don't want to populate the scope with this variable. Instantly invoked function expression. So const drink equals out if not ID drink return. Otherwise, another API endpoint. We find out which drink that is, and we gotta refresh this. I broke it. Look up cocktail by ID. There it is. Here comes the endpoint. Fetch that URL. Let's put that in a comment. Yoink this information. This is gonna be singular, so I don't need all of it. There we go. URL is now this, which is JSON lookup PHP. Good old PHP, love you. And then it's I equals ID drink. Loving it. Now, what is the response of this? Should be singular or none, right? Oh, drinks 0. Okay, what if we have that? Drinks null. Whoa, when you tell me when I do an invalid thing, it's null, not empty array. That is news to me. Watch this, and let's do a bad search. It's null, huh? If not drinks. So this is the way it behaves. If it's null, not an empty array. Good thing I found that out. And invalid drink ID. Good if drinks. I mean, it's always going to be 1, so it's going to be display. Won't ever be other ones. No, I don't need to do that. Sorry to get a little explorative there. Save that. Close that down. Go over here. We're looking at the blue margarita, and look at that. Look at that. It knows I'm here. Look at other margaritas. Let's look at. I should clear this when it goes. Strawberry margarita. Good. When I use that, I need to clear my hash. How do I close that? Window location hash. This isn't a settable property, is it? It is. Ain't that neat? Okay, I'm loving that. So when I refresh here, nothing happens. Search margarita. I get margarita. I refresh. It refetches. Good. 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 All with a minute to spare. You know, I don't know. So I mean, we're definitely taking a break. The break might also be the end of the stream, both because there's quite a few features in here. There's obviously more that can be done, but mainly because, wow, like if my internet was being good, I would keep streaming this for like another hour and a half, but my internet is, from what I can tell, what OBS is telling me, it's still been very bad misbehaving. Like, I'm rendering this easy. Like, I could be running at like quadruple this frame rate, still be good. But as far as I can tell, it's literally my network that's dropping all my frames. So I think this will be it. Now, just for all goodness sake, because as amazing as this code is, there's a lot that needs to be improved with it. But if someone coming across the VOD or Ryan or someone in chat wants to see a part of this on their own, I will get this up on GitHub. So I guess, yeah, that is what I will do after the break. And then, very much depending on how the internet's behaving, more features may or may not be added. I'm not going 15 minutes. I'm going 5 minutes. Yeah. So depending on the internet quality, how it persists, if it gets stable, I'm either going to be just pushing this to GitHub, doing a code wars, or pushing this to GitHub, adding features, doing more cool stuff. So yeah, take a break, stretch, get a drink, etc., etc. Okay, and that is the end of that break. Now, this one's kind of going to be going on forever, so I will shut the timer in the corner. So essentially, this is just going to be pushing this to GitHub, and I'm looking at my connection. It's yelling about internet, so unfortunately, probably just going to be getting this to GitHub, and that's it. So let's do some terminal commands. So we're going to git init. I already did get a init, but the great thing about that is you can keep running it and it doesn't break anything. So if you actually only ran it, you run it again. Now let's see what we want to do. I could use the VS Code way, but I like doing the terminal way. So do a git status. It's always a good thing to do before you do stuff. Get all these untracked files. We want to add all of them. So I'm just going to do git add dot. And we'll do git status to see what happened. They all got added. You can see VS Code made a little change, like, I did stuff. It's like, thank you, VS Code. Commit. Now I want to give this a message. It's called first commit. As you can see, I am very creative with my commit messages. Hit enter. It says stuff happened. VS Code's like, stuff happened. Check out git status. Nothing to commit. You can run git log. And it shows you all the commits that have happened. And it puts you in this weird little pager thing, but you have to hit the Q key to exit. It's not that crazy. So, yeah, you literally have to push the Q key to exit. And finally, we're going to get this on GitHub. So, I need a Firefox, which I closed them all. But on my Firefoxes, here's a Firefox, github.com. Now we wait for the internet to behave. Come on, internet. Come on, internet. Yeah. Really hope I can fix this internet thing for next stream. It's weird. It's like bitrate falls to 0 for some reason. I know you can't hear me, but if I do re-upload these to YouTube or whatever, you will be able to hear me. Come on, internet. Come on, it's like I'm literally not online at the moment. Like, where are we? Where are we? Okay, sorry, I'm a little frustrated. Ping. 1.1. I am literally offline. How can I gotta pull up my phone. Okay, yeah, I didn't even get a chance to unlock my phone. It's like, I'm here, I'm here. But hey, okay, that's resolved. I'm getting to GitHub. I am getting to GitHub. Let's create a new repository using this little plus sign, new repository, where you can navigate. You just can't navigate anywhere. Yeah, you can navigate to github.com/new repository name. Ah, this is a great thing. What do I call this thing? Drink picker. A very amazing name. You can do all this stuff. Creating a repository in your public account. Oh yeah, because internet's being so slow, it can't keep up. And now we wait. I mean, y'all don't have to wait. It'll just work for y'all. For me, I have to wait. Because the internet is horrible. There we go. And now we get this nice stuff. So these instructions, you can basically just follow them. Depends on whatever connection you have. You can use SSH or HTTPS. It's whatever you set up your GitHub account and Gits with. It works. Now, we have an existing repository because I created it and I add stuff to it. So we run these 3 commands. I like copying them one by one because I don't trust. We did that. And what that does, if you do git remote v, which is weird because v is like how you list them, it adds, because origin is like the key and the URL is the value of what you're going to. So it says whenever you mention origin, internally it's going to replace it with this URL. So it's like a key value. It's like an object. Now we're going to get branch and main, which I think just renames your current branch to main if it's not already. and then git push u origin master, which if you just run git push, for example, it's like, whoa, we don't know where the upstream branch is. Now what that means is like the default thing, like when you just run git push, where it should defaultly push your current branch to. So where'd it go? -u is short for set upstream origin main. So it's literally saying this URL, push the main branch, and it. My internet's gonna make this real awkward for us. But usually it's done like a snap. But that's okay, we can. There we go, here it comes. Boom. Now it says it's all done. And the great thing about this is whenever you do a push, it puts the URL right here. So if you don't remember, you can always like click on it, and I'm holding control to click on this. It'll probably be command on Mac or something. But it takes you straight to the place. Now this is it. It's very boring. But what we can do, so it's basically on Git, it's on GitHub, it's done. We're going to do something cool. We're going to implement GitHub pages. So we're going to go to the settings tab. And then we're going to go over here to pages. It's under the code and automation subsection. Now we can just read it. Is designed to host your personal or blah 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 from a GitHub repository. So if you get static assets, you can set up a GitHub page and it will literally host your static assets as they are. Now usually there's like, you can push it to like a specialized branch called gh-pages, and whenever you do that, it'll be like, hey, you want to use pages, and it'll automatically enable this. But if you don't like have a separate branch or want to do that, you come here to settings, you say which branch you want to be pages. Optionally, you can say which folder you want in the branch to be pages. Like maybe you're using create React app or some form of compiling, and all your static assets are in one folder, like /build /dist, short for distribution. Then this will be useful. But for all of us, for most normal things, basic static, root or just a single / works just fine. Then when you hit save, it starts. It's doing the thing right now. Now it gives you a URL, but nothing's on this URL. And this ain't your fault, because what it's doing is it is created an action called pages build and deployment. Now this is way far ahead than what we've learned yet. Actions are basically, how do I describe actions? They're things that run on events and do things. So like the event was, I created the pages and essentially I told it to run GitHub pages on it. So what it does is it does all this stuff. It gets a runner, which is a server somewhere out there in the cloud. You can make your own servers and like run this software on your own thing, and GitHub will use that accordingly. But it gets a server, it gets all this stuff set up. See, it's using Ubuntu 20.04. That's the software on it. Then it's pulling this software used to build the pages, Jekyll. It has some formatting and templating stuff. We don't really need to use that, but it's a very useful tool if you want some more dynamic or database pages. Then it checks out your repository, which is like, basically, it runs git clone on your repo. So if you lost this, like your computer was gone, you got a new computer, you wanted to get your repository on your machine, you do git clone and then the URL, which is right here, there. So you would run this command. Now watch, I'm going to do it right now. It did. Now if we look during picker and do a git status, or do a git lg, or do a git log, sorry, bad. If we do all these commands and then we do the right one, we can see it's actually here. If we go back into, you can see ls.a.git folder. So it took that remote repository on GitHub and brought it back into my system. And we're going to delete that because we don't want that here. I already have it. Goodbye. But yeah, it basically clones it to their hardware, which is building the pages, does all this stuff. It does the actual building, which in our case, I think like does literally nothing because we're not using Jekyll. Then it does some It does some stuff. See, look at all it's doing stuff. Artifact, it manages assets. It can transfer from one process to another. It's not complicated, but it's complicated compared to what we know at this point. Lots of CI, CD, which is continuous integration / continuous deployment stuff. They generate assets and then transfer one asset from one process to the next. That's basically what's happening. It made the assets. This one got the assets, did something to it. This is uploading it. The places. I don't know. It's making a commit on the repo. Is it? No, I don't know what this is. It's doing stuff. It's completing the job. Yes, I don't know what some of those are, but they do stuff. You get this reporting thing, which I don't know what this does either. Reports. It does telemetry. We love telemetry. Then the actual deployment, which is basically. So I guess this is like doing the magic stuff that literally puts it on that URL and stuff, which again, not my zoo. Don't know how any of that works, but it shows this little URL at the end, which we go here now. It is now working. We type in Marg. We are here. We refresh on Blue Margarita. It gets us our Blue Margarita back. Oh gosh. Okay, AT&T, I wish. What? Okay, so fun fact, use just a query with nothing, it works. That's a fun fact. That's an interesting title name, that last one. Oh, if my internet was good, y'all could read it. But yeah, now we have Drink Picker. We have it on a GitHub repository. We have a local Git repository. We have one change. It's the best change you've ever seen. We have uploaded it to GitHub pages. So not only can we see the code, but we can see the site operational. And the cool thing about GitHub pages is that once it loads, it adds this cute little green check mark. So you can go to any place and be like, does this place have pages? So with this green check mark, that's like shows the status of the action on that commit. Which if my internet was working, it would describe all the cool stuff and allow you to click on it. But there's also over here this GitHub pages, which also allows you to click on it. Both of them take you to generally the same place. I say as neither of them work, but here you go. So you can see all the processes, all the magic pages stuff. You don't really need to worry about that. But if we go to the deployments one, which is on the right side, which is over, let me, no, over here, right? Go here, we get to the deployments page, which, okay, this has changed a little bit. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so you go to the deployments page, shows all your histories, and then you click view deployment, takes you straight to the URL. And this works on any old repository. So watch, I'm going to open this in a incognito / private tab, and we're going to sit here and wait for my internet to load. There we go, the internet is loaded, and now we can. I spoke too soon. It's partially loaded. It's got like none of this cool stuff here. So now you can see, as a stranger looking at this, it's very bland. We don't get to see an environment, but we get to see a little check mark, and we get to see Actions tab. So I'm going to click on Actions tab. And here you can see kind of the same way as the other one. You have to manually click into these, and like, it's kind of a process on this particular route. But you can get to it and essentially see the GitHub, the URL. Okay, awkward. That's not working. Maybe it's over here. One of these will allow you to basically find the URL of any old. Okay, maybe this isn't available. Oh, sign into view logs. Okay, I was wrong. you can't just see the GitHub page of any old place, so that's a free lesson for you. If you want other people to be able to read, like see or visit the GitHub page of your hosted app, you should create a README, which I will do right now. Just README. It's gonna be the best README you've ever seen. Drinks picker. Now watch. I'm gonna use a little markdown magic to make this the URL. And okay, we're gonna need to go to a normal tab with all my information. It's drink picker dot github dot. No, it's Rascal2. Then / drink picker, right? Don't bookmark. Why didn't I remember to push that button? GitHub.io. Okay, I really messed this one up. Rascal2 dot. And then clear that, right? Yeah, there's the URL. So no, come back. So what we can do is you can shove this in the URL. Drink application is the cocktails DB API. Not that tab. Yeah, we're not bugging on Chrome anymore. Thank you. Cocktails DB API. Let's. Whoa, that's bright. Incognito. Now do it, and on the API tab, there it is. There we go, a nice little link. Fun fact in VS Code, we get this built-in markdown previewer. It might look a little different to you because I have an extension that makes it look different, but we all have the same button. It's this one right here, this little magnifying glass thing right there. We all have that one. How it looks when you click it can sometimes change, but we all have it. So drinks picker, drink picker application using that. I made this little URL here, and you know it seems to be okay. Where's the git remote v? This is always a good trick to find your URL. Git remote space -v allows you to see it, which allows you to click it. I want to do a badge. So the cool thing about actions is they give you these cute little badges you can use for and they're like pretty pictures, like for your statuses. No, I'm just reading what I heard. Copy status badge markdown. So watch, we can go up here. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't that look cool? Now when you click on it, it's gonna take you to like this place. You can change that because what this is it's a lot of text here. But let's simplify it. So we have this bit here. Oh, that bit there. So this exclamation point turns any image or turns any link into an image link. So basically it links whatever this is as an image using I think this is like the alt text or like the accessible text. I believe this is what this is. So you get the accessible text and then you got the URL to the image. Now you can surround that in another link, which is using the square brackets and then the link thing, and instead of linking to like that thing, we can be like, let's link to our site. So now we got two buttons. We got that one there, we got that one there. I don't know like what other things, like we can do other stuff, but none of that. I don't really think we need to care about any of that. And that, this is gonna be the last of it, I swear. Get this cool badge, a drink picking application in the cocktails API. So let's do another. So we've made changes. And we can look at it in VS Code. And VS Code's like, you got some changes here. But we're gonna use get the CLI. So we're doing a get status. And we can see we have one untracked file. Now it's telling us, like, it's real smart. It's like, hey, you can do this to include it in what will be committed. And we do want to do that, so let's follow their instructions. Git add. Now these little things, like it's not telling you to do literally file. It's telling you to replace that with the file name you want. So if your operating system is cool and like it figures everything out, you can hit tab. Watch me hit tab. And it just figures out what names you want to have. But if you can't do that, you can just do readme.md, type it out manually. Once you run that, you can see VS Code top left corner. it was like stuff changed, and then you do git status, and it's like changes to be committed. So these are staged, they're ready to be committed. They haven't gone anywhere yet, but these changes are ready. So now you gotta commit, and this ain't the first comment anymore. What do we call this? We add readme md. Now, you can name commits whatever you want. I prefer to use the present tense, so add all that stuff. So like when you read it back, it's like kind of a history, but you can literally call it whatever you want. Now that you've done it, it's done. Now, you do get status again. Look, it knows and it tells you cool stuff. Your branch is ahead of origin main by 1 commit. Now, if we remember ourselves, whenever we see origin, we can just think whatever URL it is. So your branch is ahead of github.com/rascal2/drinkpicker main, so that's the branch, by 1 commit, which, remember, commits are snapshots of the working directory or the repo or whatever you want to call it. And then in parentheses, it's always got these helpful hints in parentheses. Use git push to publish your local changes. So that is literally the command that would work, and I would push that. But we're in VS Code. We're gonna go crazy. There's this big blue button. It tells me I can push it. So I push the button, and it just does it automatically. Now, if you're curious of what it's doing, it's running git push. This is going to be real awkward if it don't work. So it's either not working because of the internet, or it's not working because I haven't used this in a long time. Who knows? Well, I really shouldn't have done that. Really shouldn't have done that. There we go. Okay, now if we do git status, we can see your branch is up to date. We do git log, it opens that big pager. We can see the head main, so this is our local, where we're here. You can see origin main. So remember, origin is always that URL your remote is on. Main. So they're both on the same thing. So now we go over here. Well, I'm already open on this tab. You see GitHub pages is like things have changed. I will now run. And look, it's running. It's doing all the funny running stuff. And if we go back and look at the code while this is running and my internet is disappointing us, we can see, look, it's already finished building. It's doing some reporting, some deploying. If we get back to our code, we can see this is our README. Now, anyone that comes here, watch me open an incognito window so you can see it. And now we wait for incognito internet. Anytime now. Anytime. There we go. So as we can see, we have it here. It's here. And anyone can see this, which means anyone can click on your URLs to see it working on GitHub pages. Now, unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. That's the end of the thing, right? It's uploaded, it's working, and yeah, I would go on further, but actually I wouldn't go on further. It's been 3 hours, but yeah, I probably would have gotten more done, but unfortunately the internet has been literally 50.0% or 50.1% of my frames have been dropped. And just judging, let me open my phone and see if I can literally get to anything right now. Okay, it's not dead entirely, but still, like, yeah, I really gotta work on my internet, fortunately. But yeah, that has been first stream, alpha stream. I'd say a 50% drop rate. Not too bad for a first stream. Yeah, as far as scheduling, I have no schedule. I will need to fix my internet first, then I'll figure out when is a better time to stream. It may literally be like this is bad streaming hours for my internet, so I might have to do it earlier. Might just be a bad day, who knows? But when I do figure it out, it will be somewhere. I'll have bots, I'll have exclamation point schedule, I'll have a schedule tab, I'll have all that working eventually. But I figured I'd just jump out here, do some streaming, get it working, because I could have spent hours trying to tweak all these things just to jump on the first stream and realize the internet sucked. So yeah, I appreciate everyone who stopped by, anyone who's watching the VOD, if the VOD exists at this point. And appreciate you, Ryan, for hanging around. Even through the intermediate failings of the internet. And yeah, I will hopefully, yeah, I'll definitely be streaming again. If the internet's fixed, that's the question we'll find out. Catch y'all next time. Toodaloo.